That's not, yeah, he's not that guy anymore. Yeah, this works now, by the way. That didn't work last patch, in case you were curious. We're gonna hyper-examine what just happened there, because this is like the actual biggest defensive buff Ladiva got in this patch, is what I was just able to do to Yoon right there. That's like, almost, like she just maybe shouldn't be able to do that, actually, is what that feels like very often. Yoon did 6XL 2M. I, after they 6XL'd, did light SPD. And I won. Right? The reason for this is because of the new SPD speed buffs and the inherent ways that command grabs are coded in the video game, right? So allow me to explain. It's not very complicated, but basically, 6XL plus 2. 2M, 7 frame startup. SPD, 5 frame startup. Right? If you wanna even out the frame advantage, basically, the fact that Belial is plus 2 means that his 2M is essentially a 5 frame startup move, right? So my command grab and his 2M are hitting on the same frame. Command grabs beat everything that isn't... I actually don't know if... Because command grabs beat all strikes, I know that much. I don't know if like they beat even like 6/6Hs and stuff. I don't know if they will beat like a... If you could take the invuln off of a super and you could just have them clash, I don't know who would win. But every normal that you can do is going to lose to command grab. Because throws have priority over all normals. And command grabs have priority over like regular throws. Right? So this is one of the craziest things they gave Ladiva is that, you know, if someone just does this now, right, when they 6XL me, I can try to SPD them out of it, and if they do a medium, a lot of characters, there are very few, 6XL close M is gonna work, right? Even if you don't have a 6-frame close M, the way they changed it in the Rasuja patch means that you're canceling the recovery frames of 6XL into close M. So even for example, like, you know, Ladiva, if she had an 8-frame close M or something like that, or even the 7-frame close M here, this will still beat it if you do the cancel, right? But if you have a 7-frame or slower 2M, and you go 6XL 2M, and you're in range, you're just gonna die, right? You're just gonna die. So you have to do either light, so you have to do something that's 6 frames or faster off 6XL, or you have to do the cancel into close M, right? Which is just... so good, right? It's honestly a little stupid. She actually can unironically use SPD as a hard callout on your 6XL off. You can just not do it, obviously. But I mean, the fact that Belial, for example, can't safely do 6XL 2M in this matchup, it's fucking insane. Like, it's one of the best things he can do, right? Even post nerf, 6XL into +1 on block. And God forbid you're less plus than this or something like that, right? If you're +1 on block, now if you do a 6-frame move, if Belial goes like 2M far L. Right? That should, I believe, maybe the pushback will save him here, but that should also lose if I do light SPD. Right? So say that Belial does 2M far L and I do SPD on defense. Oh, no? There you go. No, I was just too slow. Yeah, you see what I mean? So, like, this is just such a gigantic defensive buff for Ladiva. It's insane. It just, yeah. A lot of characters, you know, they prefer you, like, if you're nodding, like, if your 6XL hits from out here, you can't get the close M. You can't get the close M cancel, right? You're only getting 2M or far M. And there's very few characters that are going to have an option that is going to beat Ladiva from that range, basically, if she decides to commit to command grab. Now, of course, you can't just, like, backdash or hard read it or something like that and get your full punish, but it's just an option she had that she didn't have before, which is... it's a very strong one at that. It really warps your ability to run your offense on Ladiva. Because, like, yeah, light SPD is not that much damage, but I mean, as soon as this happens, Ladiva's now, like, in her win condition and potentially snowballing into the whole round. Right. The good old shimmy theory, just shimmy the -53 SPD? Yeah, sure, but it does mean that you basically, like, this is, you know, another pseudo meterless reversal, pseudo. Ladiva, like, 2U is a very similar thing, where, like, a lot of the times it'll just beat any button you can throw out, but you can just do nothing, and then it kills her for it, right? This is joined the club, and the difference is this one's also unblockable. You know what I mean? So, like, the answer to this one might not be the answer to this one. In fact, right, 2U is a lot of the times with this range buff they gave it, if you backdash, 2U is gonna get you. And if you block to stop 2U, SPD is gonna get you. Right, so the combination of these two options, again, it just makes it... running offense on a good Ladiva is going to be so fucking annoying now. Like, this is... it's annoying. It's annoying for real, right? Jump will be both of them, right? Jump will be both of them. However, right, also jump against Ladiva in the first place is a bad idea, right? Like, it's all just tough. Staggers are just bad against Ladiva. You die with the minimum gap. Yeah. Unless you're staggering, like, lights into lights, you're going to be totally fine, right? Like, if I do, like, if Wild does, like, you know, 5-frame close L into 5-frame close L into far L, he's fine. But if you want to use your mediums, You're taking on risk. You're taking on risk. Not a reversal, it's just an unblockable jab that does comical damage in many ways. Yeah, and also, I mean, it's also true, right, that she can do this with USPD too, if she wants a little bit more gumption. USPD has always been 5 frames, but now it has actual reach to it, and it's a safe jump. So if Ladiva's feeling really confident on the reads, right, you can just go straight to hell sometimes. I did want to lab one other thing out, because actually I'm not sure how this works. So, the way that Work the Crowd, Ladiva blocks your pressure equals you die. You have to play a really fucked up RPS game to pressure the grappler, which is it's still in your favor certainly, but it's just, you know, the fact that she even has the option to just SPD you out of your pressure and now she's winning is pretty insane. I want to take like Ladiva into a tourney and shit like that, but oh, Eunectus on Belial. What the? Oh. Out of curiosity, is the Cyberpunk TTRPG on the crunchy or open-ended side? It's not as crunchy as Pathfinder, certainly. So, you know, think still crunchier than like your I don't know, like you know, it's not like Call of Cthulhu, certainly. It's still a combat-focused RPG at heart. And there's a lot of detail to get into with like the cyberware that you can do and stuff like that. Feels like a 5e level of crunch, not like a, you know what I mean? Maybe even a little less. Oh, I've been shimmied! You wouldn't kill a guy with glasses, would you? Oh, I think you would. I live these. Yeah, no, I don't.
Come on, get it together.
That's true, that is who this is. Yoon. Is Belial still the top 1 character? No. I think Belial's still very good. But he got nerfed enough that I think it's at least fair to say that that's not, yeah, he's not that guy anymore. Yeah. This works now, by the way. That didn't work last patch, in case you were curious. We're gonna hyper-examine what just happened there, because this is like the actual biggest defensive buff Ladiva got in this patch, is what I was just able to do to Yoon right there. That's like almost, like she just maybe shouldn't be able to do that, actually, is what that feels like very often. Ow. Fair, still not finding a table, yeah. I'm liking it, it's cool. I'm just so Pathfinder pilled, I think, that I would rather just play Pathfinder. But, you know, the group's trying out some different games, and I already have 2 other Pathfinder games, so I'm not exactly starved for Pathfinder. I'll be fine. I'll survive. Bonk. Now you feel the love, you? Now you feel the love? I think you're dead. Oh, yeah, you are. You're dead, and they made this link easier, so I can't drop it even in the clutch. Finally out of driving purgatory. I don't think Galleon is bad against zoners. I think people just don't know how to anti-zone. No, I think she's... I think they, like, they're certainly her hardest matchups. But where I'll agree, I mean, as certain as it can be for a character that's new, right? Where I will agree with you is I don't think that, you know, they're, like, unwinnable or unplayable or she has no options, right? But I do think it's going to require more, like, active thought out of the Galleon player than most other matchups, right? That's fair. Yoon is young. I should respect that a little bit more. Are there enough brick snipers to run a bracket? Maybe. That's a decent chunk of them, certainly. Give me your brave points, you. Are we gonna test out the full release of Daggerheart soon? I'm excited. Yeah. Oh, Yoon's young! I was just saying this! Oh, God. Oh, I was just... Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, Yoon has good reactions. I think also literally a young man, so... That's on me. Oh, I'm alive? Dude, 18,000 health? I do miss it. It's true. Overhead! So true, so true, so true, so true. When I played Vikala versus Gallion, it looked very rat favored, yeah. She has full screen options, right? She has anti-fireball tools. But it's true that, like, you know, basically she has to earn her way into using her best tools, rather than just being able to force people to come to her. Because Gallion's entire, like, you know, the thing that Gallion wants to do against most of the cast, I think, is force them to come into, because her actual, like, desired range and spacing, right, is that mid-range. Where, you know, where she can convert comets into, oh, I don't have the conversions. Where she can convert comets into 6-6H, and like where she can, you know, she can dominate with her insane ass 5H and everything, right? Well, I think I could have fucking anti-aired them there. That was supposed to be 720. At least when I whiff and I get this, it's significantly better than it's ever been because it's so much bigger, right? Oh! You know, I wanted to do it again. I didn't believe in myself. Haha! She does have to alter her game plan, though, as a grappler should. Yeah, alter a game plan means the matchup. If you can't do your default winning game plan, the matchup's bad for you, right? Now, again, I think people will sometimes go a little too hardcore, and they're like, the matchup is literally unwinnable, 10-0 matchup, Gallion against Matera. But if she has to alter her game plan from her desired win con, then yes, the matchup is not good for her. Bonk. Bonk. Heap. Hop. A hit. A hibbity. Don't stop. I guess I do this in place of super. That's about as much damage as I can squeeze in there, I think.
You're done. Oh dear. Try this on.
You wouldn't throw a fireball at a guy with glasses. Oh, actually, it confirmed it. Well done, me. Well done, me. Gotta go sleep some. See ya. See ya. Rat does well against Yule. Yeah, Yule and Vera in general both struggle with zoners pretty hard because they have basically no anti-fireball tools, and their only options to get in are like universal options, right? Like running and rolling and jumping. And Yuel's fast, but right? Yuel's fast. Yuel's slippery, more so in close range, right? That's where Yuel can like start doing backflips and stuff like that. But if you backflip against Vikala, all you're doing is giving Vikala more space, right? Ladiva's so broken, it's true. It's not my fault she's top 1, man. In the theoretical brick sniper bracket, who'd be favored to win? Who is the best player who snipes me on occasion? Maybe Sprite? Oh, Nas? Local Toronto rapper. Oh, okay. People are ready for the crouch. That's fair. That's very fair, actually. Oh, I wanted to hyperanalyze that into... Oh, fuck. Okay. We're gonna... It's not gonna take too long, but it is, like, one of the most important things about these buffs they gave to Ladiva happened during that match with Yoon, and I did want to show you guys, in case you were unaware of the implications of the buffs that they gave this demon in this patch. So yeah, we'll do that after this, Lucilius. Someone please remind me. Don't let me forget. I'll try my best not to forget, but I may.
What next?
Ow. Who's the one dude from yesterday who played Belial? Bossman? Bossman's pretty good, but I do think Sprite is probably cooking him. Yeah, again, Yuel is slippery up close, right? Yuel is not slippery from full screen. Oh god. Okay, I need to do less M Lariat. This Lucy's ready for it. Some L Lariat, some L Loliat, you know? A lot of that stuff, but M Lariat, we gotta be a little bit more... aware. See? Light Lariat, though? That's my go. Oh, I thought he 2H'd me, honestly. I thought, when I saw it roll back, I thought it was a rollback into him killing my ass, but it's not how it went. It's not what happened. DP? No. Whoa, that links into 2U! I didn't even know. Fair enough, that's some Lucy tech. My stocks are rising. Oh. I tried to roll SBA, he was not having it.
Give me one more round.
The apocalypse.
Watching Brick play Grand Blue makes me want to play some too. Playing Grand Blue makes me want to play more Grand Blue, for what it's worth. It's like a perpetual motion machine.
Tipped your hand.
You've tipped your hands. To what, sir? Like what information do you think you have now that you didn't have before, Lucy? What do you know? Okay. Oh! Dansu! Never punished for doing stupid shit because he accidentally messed up his anti-air confirm. Perish? Is Work the Crowd still up? Because, okay. I do want to test something, actually. I want to test a couple of things once we're done. First, I want to show you guys what happened with Yoon. And second, I want to say, does Work the Crowd... Because they said the buff stops when you whiff an SPD or get counter hit or punished. I assume that means out of an SPD, not counter hit or punished in general, right? So I think there, I still had the Work the Crowd buff that I applied all the way back at the... Oh, I should be JMing, by the way. I forgot about Ladiva JM. I think it would actually beat him there. JM, my beloved, in fact. That's supposed to be SPD, not light headbutt, believe it or not. Oh, okay. He's hockey teching now. Bonk, bonk, bonk. One of these, one of those, one of these, one of those, one of these. Get down here. DP is totally fine. You wouldn't safe jump me, would you? You wouldn't safe jump the command grab super. You're not. You're not trying to save jump the unblockable super, are you? Bonk. Lucy's English VA goes so hard.
To stop me.
I do like him. I think he does a good job. Once you start playing, there's no stopping for me too. Yeah, I need to bring my gaming laptop to work so I can start trying to snipe brick. I'm game. 2U, OS on Tesser. Goated shit. Oh, yeah, it wasn't plus enough for close H to be a real frame trap. I got greedy. It's true. No, sir. Oh, good backdash. Well done. Oh, no confirm. I thought, you know, that was the most preemptive Brave counter you've ever seen. I wasn't even in block stun. Like, I was so far away from being in block stun, rather. No, I tried to catch that backdash right there. With you lariat. No such luck. That shit does not work the way you think it does, Mr. Sillies. Oh my god, dude, I saw that freeze and I was like, really? Now we're doing this? Like right here? Do we have to? Could we not give me a little bit more of a chance? I was gonna freeze. I was gonna freeze and see, and it was gonna please wait, and he was gonna be able to see that I was loading up the Raging Strike. So you do SPD and then you work the crowds, right? The buff that they gave it, right? The buff that they gave it is that work the crowds does not run out. It used to be that I have to do the taunt every single time, right? Not anymore. Now you see it does 2700 baseline, work the crowd adds 500 damage, so now every time I keep spamming it, I do 3200. Oh yeah, she can now Laird to do 360L on block? No, we'll talk about that in a second, but I misunderstood why that worked with USPD in the first place. Guard Crush does not remove throw protection, it counts as hit stun. Right? So you can't do it, because 360L cannot grab people in hit stun, 360U can. So it's a matter of both the frames have to align and the grab has to work on people in hit stun. Guard Crush does not remove throw invuln. I mean, technically, it removes, like, there's no post block or anything like that throw invuln, but it is hit stun, which means that normally, no, you cannot grab command grabs whiff on people in hit stun in the first place, right? The only two exceptions Ladiva has to this is SSBA and 360U. Are the only two grabs she has, or I guess also the air grabs, but the air grabs are obviously not going to hit someone who stood like crouch block to Lariat, right? So you can't do Lariat into 360L. But okay, so what I was going to say, so work the crowd, it stays, right? Now it goes if I whiff an SPD, so that's 3200. If I whiff this SPD, the next one's going to do 2700, right? And then I have to buff again. Also, if I get counter hits out of my SPD, like if I tell Belial to on wake up, H Notoria works, I guess. Yeah, that should be fine, right? So if I tell Belial to do that shit on wake up and I try to SPD again, right? I got counter hit out of my SPD, right? Once you know, the whiff there does kind of ruin the experiment, I guess. So, yeah. So I have the buff up. I do this, right? He counter hits me out of it, and then if I run up and SPD him again, this will do 2700. The buff is gone, right? So the way that Ladiva loses this buff is by whiffing an SPD or by getting counter hits out of the startup of an SPD. Now, what I'm curious about is if I just get counter hit in general, does it remove it? Because my guess is that no, it shouldn't, right? But I am curious, right? So, right, I have the buff up. If I just try to like hit his ass and I get counter hits, is it 3200 still? Yes, okay, that's what I guessed, but I was curious about that because they said the buff goes away on counter hit or punish. They were talking specifically about the counter hit or punish on the command grab. Gotcha. From the videos I played, seems really cracked right now. Yeah, the buffs are even more, they feel even more impactful than I thought they were actually playing her. Does her regular taunt activate work the crowd? I don't know, actually. Wait. God, I'm so bad at actually hitting. There you go. I don't think so? Oh, it does. That's cool. Yeah, it does. That's a pretty nice little, that's a nice little thing, right? Round just, like, we just reset. I have no buff up. No reason for this to do 3200 except that I taunted. Very cool. How plus am I on this again? Plus 14. Yes, you can do like a slight micro walk into another close H sometimes, but you gotta be quick, like for stuff like Belial's DP, you gotta be like real quick about it. I'm not sure how realistic it is to actually get this micro walk on Belial DP. Yeah, I think it's better to just do, you know, into this and go from there. Right? Into this shenanigan. Or you can do, I mean, you could also just do close H. The normal combo, you don't really, like for the optimal in the corner, you don't want to do auto combo anyway. So, you know, if you just get close H into far H, it's not really the worst thing in the world. It's slightly less damage, but you're not missing out on the auto combo. You don't want the auto combo. But either can SPD 6XL 6 frame button that comes out on frame 7 and it's spacing dependent? 6-frame button that comes out on frames. Yeah, so that's a 7-frame button, right? Yeah, if there's a 7-frame button, then it works, right? I do counter hit close H into 214M. You can. Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that. We were labbing the combos too. Yeah, you can do this too, right? Yes, I forgot about this. Thank you for the reminder. Right? You can do this too, which actually I think is that is more that is better than the 5U route if we don't want to spend any like raging strike or anything like that. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder, Cray. I did, in fact, forget about this shit. That U Lariat's consistency buff, too, where it doesn't just, like, drop people that it hits mid-air half the time. That's really nice. Very, very nice for Ladiva.